What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. That was for my thumbnail. I wanted it to be a little bit dramatic. But yeah, so today's video is gonna be about seed oils. Repeat after me, seed oils. Why you should avoid seed oils, why they're bad for you as a man, and why you should run away from them. If you see a seed oil, go the freaking other way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a little bit of background, a little bit of a history of seed oils, when they were made, what company made them, what year, what time period they were introduced to the general public, and a little bit of autobiography of seed oils and all that. Yeah, let's get into the video. So, what are seed oils? That's the first question you would ask me. Well, seed oils are oils derived from seed product. Ping. I mean, duh, it's fucking in the name, seed oils. So those are seeds like cottonseed oils, rapeseed oils. That's actually a name of a seed, rapeseed oil. Rapeseed oil. Well, that's beside the point. So cottonseed oil, rapeseed oil, canola oil, soybean oil. There's a bunch of them, man. They're just basically oils derived from seed or a byproduct of seeds. And there's also vegetable oils, which are basically oils derived from vegetable byproducts. Like, for instance, corn oil. You would call technically olive oil is considered vegetable oil. But there's a bunch of palm oil. There's cacao. I don't know how they say that fucking shit. It's gay as fuck. Cacao, whatever it is. Those are also vegetable oils. Those are a little bit different from seed oils, but also kind of like interlinked. It's weird, but yeah, that's a little bit of information on seed oils and what they are. And where did seed oil come from? Well, seed oils were first introduced in the 1900s by a company based out of the Midwest called Procter & Gamble. Well, you see, Procter & Gamble were a food manufacturing company. They came up with man-made processed food products like cereal. A lot of the cereal we eat these days are still made by Procter & Gamble. If you read the ingredient label, you would fucking go bonkers. Like, it's insane the amount of shit they fucking use to make this product, and people just buy them. I'm like, wow, it's insane. That's beside the point. So Procter & Gamble struck gold basically in the early 1900s. They invented seed oils and they paid their way to the FDA. That's what companies do. Seed oils got approved and got introduced to the general public. They ran a massive propaganda ad video on how saturated animal-based oils were bad for people, like beef tallow, like lard, like bacon fat, and like butter. They basically run an ad campaign on why those products are bad for you and why seed oils are better for you and why you should buy seed oils. People back in the 1900s, they had no TV, they had no internet, they couldn't do a little bit of research, so they ate it up. They believed it, you know what I'm saying? And also with the backing of the FDA, they also bought into it, So that was how seed oils got introduced to the general public, mostly in the United States in the early 1900s. I forgot the specific year, but I know it's in the early 1900s. And so after a couple of years, people started noticing a rise of obesity in the United States, and research was being done. Early researchers had thought it was sugar. That was in the early 60s and early 70s. There was like a campaign. There were ad campaigns about sugars and reducing sugar intake. That's why sugar alternative products like fructose and sucralose and all those man-made bullshit got introduced, because they had thought that was the number one cause of the rise of obesity in the United States. It wasn't the number one cause. It wasn't even the number two, but it was some of the cause, you know what I'm saying? So they worked on sugar thinking it was gonna lead to the decline of obesity or lead to the decrease of obesity. It didn't work. Obesity got worse. So now we're in the early 1980s and late 1980s and early 1990s. And there was a researcher by the name of Dr. Gary Fetke. He's based out of Australia. He did a lot of research and he had seen solid evidence to prove that seed oils were the number one, or one of the reasons, or one of the main cause, or one of the main factors of spiking numbers of obese citizens in the United States. So he had tried to, and Australia as well, he had tried to publish that research you know, he got shut down because he's going for the big boys. They couldn't let that happen. A couple of years passed, you know, people forgot about it. In the early 2000s, a bunch of other researchers came out with solid evidence like, hey, we should look into the seed oil thing. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of correlation that shows seed oils are bad for people. They tried shutting it down. They were successful in some cases. They weren't successful in other cases. You know, government. You know, now we come to the modern day. Why are seed oils bad for you? Well, especially as a man, seed oils are bad for you because they reduce your testosterone. I don't know if you guys have seen the article about the decline in men's testosterone over like 40-year time period. Like it's dropped substantially, and which I actually believe, because after the first time I had seen that article back in like 2021, I believe, I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and do a blood work. Let me see what my testosterone was and, you know, how I could improve it. So I did a blood work and my testosterone was just under 600. It was high 580s, and I forget the exact number. I don't have that record with me right now. And apparently that was low for a man. I was like, what? I did a little bit of research. That was low, like low. I was like, holy shit, like god damn. So I did more research. I found seed oils. I found doctors like Dr. Anthony Chaffee, Dr. Paul Saladino, Dr. Sean Baker's, you know, a lot of those carnivore doctors on YouTube currently. I went on an elimination diet, basically eliminating all the bullshit from my fucking diet. I eliminated seed oils, I eliminated processed food, I eliminated man-made products basically from my life. I started eating a lot of eggs, I started eating a lot of butter. Then I noticed it was the spring of 2022. I did another blood work a couple of months after I had done the initial blood work. My testosterone, get this, was 920. My testosterone from just under 600 had gone to 920 from eating a box of eggs a week. So basically I'd buy an egg. I only ate eggs in the weekend, because on the weekdays I would eat steak. So I would buy a box of eggs. I would eat 6 on Saturday, the other 6 on Sunday with shrimps, with bacon occasionally. I don't really like pork product, but occasionally I would eat with bacon. You know, I would add bell peppers, onions and stuff like that, because those aren't bad for you. Bell peppers are considered fruits and all that because they have seed. That's beside the point. But yeah, I noticed my testosterone went, you know, to 920. So that intrigued me. I was like, holy shit. You know, that led me into another rabbit hole of, you know, animal-based cholesterol and animal-based fat being good for you. You know, I started doing my research. I started seeing more, you know, videos from the doctors I had mentioned earlier. You know, Anthony Chaffee, Sean Baker, and Paul Saladino, and a bunch of other ones. But those are the major doctors I had remembered seeing when I was going through my research phase. I kept on, you know, doubling down on my animal-based products, eating a lot of butter. I used butter for steak. I used butter for chicken. I used butter for fish because I also like salmon and catfish as well. So I used butter for pretty much everything, and I exclusively ate eggs on the weekends. And I did another blood work late 2023, which was last year, and I noticed, get this, my testosterone was in the high 950s from 920, which is insane. Apparently that's like in the top 10% worldwide. So basically, technically, your boy is a fucking ape. I'm a Neanderthal, nigga. So yeah, that is insane, dude. Basically, after doing that, my third blood work last year, my testosterone being this high, I was like, holy shit, I'm onto something. So that's basically diet I've been following. A lot of animal-based product. It's called an animal-based diet. It's not necessarily a carnivore diet, because I drink fruit juice, you know, I take honey, but a lot of steaks, a lot of beefs, and occasionally on the weekends, because I like my cheesecakes, I like my pizza, I like my Italian, I like my lasagna, I like my pasta, I like my spaghetti, I like all that good stuff. So that's every other week I cycle through one of those stuff. So I would say I'm more or less 80% animal-based / carnivore, and 20%, you know, you would consider those high carb diet, you know. But I try to burn it, you know. After I eat those, I hit the gym. Like I go hard, I go really like ape shit at the gym. So I burn all that, you know, extra carbs. I had eaten all day, you know, so technically they don't stay on my body, because when I burn them off, I go sleep. That's another way to circumvent, you know, situations like that. That's beyond the point. So yeah, seed oils aren't good for you because they reduce your testosterone. Seed oils aren't good for you because it's one of the number one cause of an increase in obesity worldwide. So if you don't want to get fat, if you don't want to be 500 pounds, if you don't want to be obese, try to avoid seed oils. If you want to halt the damage it's already done to your testosterone, try to avoid it. Then implement, you know, animal-based products like butter, and start eating a lot of eggs, because you know animal-based cholesterol are actually really good for you, and those help your hormones, especially in men. So they increase testosterone, they increase a lot of, I forget other stuff they increase, but there's a lot of research out there. You can go do your research and get that information. You would ask me, what are the alternatives to seed oils? Like I had mentioned earlier, before seed oils were introduced, we used a lot of beef tallow, which beef tallow, for those of you who don't know, beef tallow is basically fat from beef rendered. No, if you notice, when you cook beef, the fat separates and the water separates, the blood separates, you know, all that stuff. So beef tallow is basically all that fat then rendered down, filtered, you know, and that becomes beef tallow. So it's a byproduct of beef, you know, so that is really good. It's healthy, it's animal based. It helps increase your hormones, it helps increase your testosterone levels and all that good stuff. Another good product, it would be lard. I personally don't use lard because I'm not a big fan of pork, but lard is also good for you. It's basically the same thing as beef tallow, but for pork. Basically rendered down beef fat. So lard is also good for you. Butter, that's what I use. I like butter. I like the taste of butter. It makes everything taste really good. So I use butter, but you got to be careful. A lot of companies are making processed butter. That's not good for you. Pasteurized butter, that's not good for you. You want to try to avoid that. You know, pasteurized. I try to get whole milk butter or whole butter, you know, stuff like that. So even raw butter, if you can get your hand on raw butter, that's really good for you. So try to avoid pasteurized butter because they take out all the good enzymes and, you know, cultures and organisms and all that stuff, and they just pasteurize it. It's basically butter without nutrients, you know. It's useless. But yeah, so beef tallow, lard, butter, even bacon fat, that's also good for you. I know a lot of people who store bacon fat, so they make a lot of bacon, then they store the fat and they reuse it in other meals. So if you want to go ahead and do that, that's also good for you. So yeah, those are the alternative to seed oils, and that's the reason why you should avoid seed oils, especially as a man. Because if you don't want your testosterone to go down, if you want to be able to impress Stacy and Cindy on the sheets, if you want to go full in that pussy, you know what I'm saying? You wanna avoid seed oils, so you wanna be able to perform, you know, because you know just higher testosterone leads to higher performance. You don't have to be a genius to figure that out. So yeah, those are the reasons why you should avoid seed oils as a man in 2024, and those are alternatives to seed oils I presented to you. So let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section below. Like if you like it. Dislike, I don't give a shit. And I will see you guys in the next video.